Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sedona International Film Festival, where we're coming to you live from the Sedona Rouge Hotel. This is the film festival's 25th anniversary, so we're so excited to celebrate. Our sponsors of the film festival are Sedona Rouge Hotel and Spa, Black Magic Design, and Digitech, and we'd like to thank our sponsors for being with us. And joining me now is Herb Paine with Broadway Worlds.
I do that, yes.
Yes,
Herb Paine.
Herb Paine, I'm sorry.
That's all right, I can add my last name.
It's like, I'm like, oh my God.
It's all right, we'll work together.
Thank you. I'm so sorry, Herb, on that. And but you are not a filmmaker, but you are in the film industry.
So to speak, yeah. For the last 6 years, in addition to my own consulting business, I've been doing reviews for Broadway World, which, as I think everyone knows, is probably the largest online venue for the performing arts and theater-related activities, and have had the pleasure not only of reviewing the performing arts in the Phoenix metro area, but coming up here and reviewing films for Broadway World. It's been a delight.
That's awesome. Now, you were just telling me before we actually went on that you are celebrating your 30th anniversary in your consulting business.
Yes, that's right. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Well, we're celebrating
to me. Yeah. You're celebrating your 25th, and I had the great pleasure of, I have such admiration for what Patrick has done with this festival. And as the 25th approached, just recently I did a profile on him and on the festival, and it's just a remarkable experience for the filmmakers and a real tribute to him and the volunteers that this is such a, well, as the point was made earlier in an earlier interview, a filmmakers festival. It's a great experience here.
Yeah, it is. And, I was talking to somebody earlier today that when I first started in my career, I used to follow like Leonard Maltin, and we had, Siskel and Ebert, and, people like just, the big movie critics. And I remember that I tried to do I was trying to be a movie critic I think I was like 20 years old, so what do I know? And it's not an easy task.
It's not, but to some extent I feel advantaged by the fact that I've been on stage, I've had the opportunity to be in film, I have numerous clients who are in the performing arts business. So you put all that together, and I feel like I have an affinity for that world and the behind the scenes stuff that goes on into making productions. And I too read those reviewers, those critics, the Pauline Kaels and Rex Reeds. But when you're doing it yourself, for me, it's a matter of trying to probe into the work, whether it's a short film or a full feature. What's the essence of the story that's being told? Where is its relevance? And then to try to find an angle at which I can relate that work to an audience that doesn't tell them whether to go or not to go, except there are instances where there's a must-see, but to at least inform them about what experience there may be in that film. So it's really gratifying to have that opportunity to be a critic. Or actually, I don't like the word critic because it's about providing perspective. It's a reviewer function.
Right. So, I think, going back to like my experience and drawing from that, it's just like an interpretation of anything else. So it's interpreting a film or a poem, for instance. And, sometimes when you're in that kind of situation, you wonder if you're on cue for what the filmmaker or the poet or whoever was trying to get you to understand. Right. So do you ever feel like that you may have missed the point? And if you did,
No. No, actually, there is, when you study the humanities or English or the arts, there is this sense that once the artist has done the work, they don't own it anymore. It is subject to the interpretation through various sets of eyes. For me, what's been a reinforcement of the work that I've done in reviewing is this incredible experience of getting filmmakers to write and say, God, you understood it. You got it. You brought us to tears. Thank you. I shared it with my mother. Those are the moments that tell me maybe I'm on course, Do
those happen a lot?
Frequently enough
Yes.
to make me a happy man.
Good. That's all that matters. So you have reviewed several films of this film festival, particular
Yes.
film festival. Is there anything that stands out in particular for you?
The shorts. It's funny. You can do it in an hour and a half or 2 hours or more. Tell an entire story. It's a remarkable accomplishment to capture in 60 seconds or 10 minutes the essence of a human experience and to move an audience. There was one, Baby Shoes, which is just a remarkable piece. It's based on what is called the saddest short story ever told. It was based on a dare to Ernest Hemingway that he couldn't write a short story in 6 words. He did. And the filmmaker, Dmitri Melkin, who's here, captured those words and in a short time really touched the hearts of anybody that watches that. Yeah. So for me, it's the short films, although I love so much of what I've seen here.
I'm really glad that you said that, because for this particular film festival, I feel like that there's an incredible number of shorts in this particular film festival, far more than any other film festival that I've been involved in. And so I felt like I wasn't sure if it was a trend, if it was just something that that we just happened to see for this year, or, I'm not really certain on that.
I hope it's on an upward curve, because one of the films that was shown here, shorts, won the Oscar this year. And it was an animated feature, but it was a short one. And I hope so, because I think people ought to appreciate that you can capture an experience in a short period of time. Brevity has its value, right?
Yeah, it does. And that was one of the questions that I asked some of the filmmakers. In doing a short, is it more difficult than doing a longer feature film?
And you probably heard it. It's a long and arduous experience.
Yes.
It's like at the essays we used to write, 500 words. Please capture that in 250. You have to really do surgery on your work, cutting out stuff that you think you don't want to, but you end up with a good product, a better product probably.
Right. What is it that you love about what you do?
In terms of the reviewing?
Yes.
I think it's immersing myself in the artistic experience, being on the other side of it, but being able to enjoy it and to explore the dimensions of that work. I love being close to the theater, whether it's as an actor or as a consultant or as a reviewer. There is this world that has an inherent value in translating who we are as a people, as a humanity, that no other medium, I think, can. And so it's wonderful to be a part of that.
Awesome. And you are living in Phoenix.
We live in Phoenix.
And you also have been on NPR.
Yes, I do social and political commentaries on NPR. I ran for Congress about 13 years ago, and not having won, really desired to continue exercising my political voice. So I've done what I consider, or others consider, provocative pieces that hopefully make people probe issues of the day beyond the surface. And so I've done that, love doing that as well.
So are you moving into a new kind of venture? I mean, you've been doing this for 30 years, so what's
I think
coming up?
my aspiration now is to focus not so much on client service anymore, but to really address issues of public policy that don't get top of the headline coverage. But if you've been to, for example, if you've been to enough of these festivals and watched the documentaries, you realize that there are issues, whether it's the impacts on the environment, the shredding of our coastlines, toxic effects, et cetera, et cetera. You realize that there are issues that are vital to our sustainability as a people, as a humanity, that aren't getting covered. And so I really want to venture into more public policy education and advocacy. That may be sounding highfalutin, but it has its practical implications for our future.
No, thank you. I mean, we love your work. Thank you for supporting our film festival. Thank you for reporting on our movies and doing the interview with Patrick. That was amazing. So
it's been my privilege. Thank you.
Thank you, Herb Paine. Thank you so much for being with us at the film festival. It's really a pleasure.
Thank you.
And we will be back with more from the Sedona International Film Festival after this.